love this one. It's called Peter Pan Neverland Terrors. Let's see how our new Peter Pan can handle all the killing he's going to do. Now we return to Neverland. Peter Pan, having been reborn, returns to Lost Boys. All of them very young and freshly kidnapped. A red light goes around the area, and of course being the little Tinkerbell. She said, "Hi, Peter. How are you doing now that you've been reborn?" "Great," said Pan. "I feel like I've been born anew. Now, let's finish the date we had with old Hooky." So, the Lost Boys, led by Peter Pan, went to the ship of Captain Hook. As I know, cannonballs started to be fired, but none of them were aimed at Lost Boy. All of them were aimed at Pan. Rather, the Lost Boys were restrained by the pirates as Captain Hook fought against Pan. "Even I have my limits, Pan. You, sir, have lost your limits and gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs." He didn't say the Cocoa Puffs part. I just added that one in. "Well, if I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs," that was something that Pan did say, "then I guess you're not gonna be needing your heart." He grabbed the sword and stabbed it right through Hook. Meanwhile, in New York, a young girl named Wendy, who was actually the great-granddaughter of the Wendy you're thinking of. Well, great-granddaughter? I don't know. I think it's more of a... No, just granddaughter. I'm mixing my brain up now. And walked around for a bit, only to suddenly fall into Neverland. She saw it and immediately knew where she was, because she was a big fan of the Peter Pan story. Ooh, let's see if she remains a fan. She saw Captain Hook's ship sink down, with several Lost Boys on top of it, and as they started to drown, she ran to help, only to be stopped by Pan. Whoa, little girl. You shouldn't go there and help him. Peter Pan? Is there any other Pan in this area? Why would you say that the Lost Boys are drowning? Well, that's the idea. For stabbing her in the stomach. And in retaliation, she pulled out the sword and stabbed him in the knee before grabbing Tinkerbell and kicking him in the face. She tried to ask Tinkerbell what the heck happened. "I will never tell you." Yes, I will. As it turned out, Tinkerbell is corrupted by some dark force, which is also what corrupted Pan. "Tinkerbell, you need to tell me what happened." "I can't. He's always watching." "Who?" "Me." She turned, and Pan was right there. But luckily, she was quick. She grabbed a tree branch and hit him over the head with it, and stabbed him in the stomach, pinning him to the ground. And to secure measure, she grabbed more logs and stabbed him into his arms and legs so he couldn't move or pull it out. She ran with Tinkerbell to safety, and eventually, using healing waters of Neverland, she was cured. They encountered the dark entity as it spoke. "You'll never free Pan. Pan is my minion," he said as Pan walked forth, having been freed, only for the young Wendy the Third to hit him over the head with a log again and throw him into the healing waters, as he then burst from the water. Now re-energized with mystical force, he said, Pan is back, baby! No dark entity, prepare to die. No! My plan! When he was returned home, as Peter Pan began his road to redemption for what he did under the entity's influence, the young Wendy was happy that her grandmother's friend had been returned to normal. What? Something to laugh or some sort of twist? No, this one has an actual happy ending. Do you not like that? This one is called very, very interesting. Well, the thing it's called is very, very interesting. This one is called Texas Chain Ball Massacre. The Next Generation. Where to begin? The same high school from before wants to put up another ball. It makes the foolish mistakes of putting chains everywhere. How irresponsible of them. But regardless of the irresponsibility, they quickly went around getting the ball together. All the little teens dancing, finally asking out their crushes. It was so lovely. Only for Chainhead to show up. Chainhead was obsessed with the original Texas Chain Ball Massacre. And what do you know? This was in Texas. So he grabbed some chains and started to get to work. He would slice. He would dice. He would do all of the above. Nobody died, but that was the intent. They just wanted to torture them a little bit. But, unfortunately, one of the girls there grabbed a crowbar and started beating at him. He escaped quickly, as everybody wanted to have a happy ending. Everyone was freed and the police started looking for Chainhead. Everything seemed nice until that same teen went to her father's house for the weekend, only to find him in his basement. As it turned out, her own father was Chainhead. Sorry, this was quite short, but what can I say? I'm not exactly in the biggest storytelling mood for this one. I just don't like it that much. And I have to look for all these stories, you know. In this world, there's so many creepy stories to tell, I can't just pick it's impossible for me just to pick one. But anyway, see you next fall. Get ready for Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Let's see how Jacob can handle revisiting his French fry killing origins, as in his family and a bunch of other people being tormented and killed by a French fry killer. I don't know. I can't even remember what the details were of that story. In case you can't tell, I'm not some view of other dimensions. It's all in one big dimension. How do you think Jacob keeps showing up? Now, let's see how Jacob does to fighting some wolves and returning to that old place where he had to do with a Friday of 13th. He walked in, felt a bit nostalgic, oddly enough, despite the trauma locked behind these places. He also remembered what happened on Dumbbell Street, having learned of what truly happened later on. But the ghost of the man that caused that incident appeared, saying, I have returned for my revenge, Jacob Holmes. Wait, Holmes? That's right. As it turns out, our little boy Jacob here was a descendant of the great Sherlock Holmes. You know, it actually explains a lot, actually. All of his detective work and going to the different locations as these stories happen. Quite impressive there, Chickup. I wonder if we're gonna see him again. Hint, hint. You seem to run around and run and run and run and run around the coast. Actually, sure, I'm trying to hit him. And actually, noticing specific patterns of how tangible he was at the moment at a time. Eventually, he got a clever idea. He would run around him and start blasting him with a fire extinguisher, which actually blew away the phantom, whatever you want to call it, material he was made out of. He would kick. He would yell his battle cry. And also, he'll grab a Ghostbuster pack that was there for some reason, and it actually worked. He did a ghost into the grease fire. How ironic for him. He would come out, having been resurrected, though, from that grease, somehow, now being a grease zombie man, and grabbed a hockey mask, Jason Voorhees style, and grabbed the grease pad and started whacking Jacob with it. Jacob was quite spry and mature for his age at 16. So, he grabbed a frying pan and hit the man over the head with it. How dashing. So he continued to do what he does best, and he does best is kick a whole lot of butt. And boy, does he kick butt here. He does all sorts of moves, resembling karate, and keeps on going on and on with it. He kicks all sorts of butts to the point the man starts to get scared. For a second, he was going to lose. And of course, he was right to be scared. And boy, do I love to see people in fear. It smells nice, too. Anyways, Jacob continued to hit him, and he used the fire extinguisher to put out the heat from the grease. Now, let me pause a moment to take a drink. And I know you might be thinking, how can a skeleton drink? It's just Diet Mountain Dew. Anybody can drink Diet Mountain Dew, even people who are dead. Refreshing! Speaking of Diet Mountain Dew, quickly Jacob grabbed a 2-liter bottle of it, shook it up as well and opened it while throwing in Mentos that were lying around, increasing the blast, which actually blew off several bits of the grease off the man. The creature started to melt away as Jacob had become victorious as he sprayed it with fire extinguisher, killing the undead zombie man of grease.